Well, new do you prefer the man or the bear just dropped? Just when you thought it was safe to go literally anywhere with a man again, yeah.
Yeah, you and me, we fend for ourselves. We're sharks.
I'm nothing like you.
I don't know when it happened, but everyone at the same exact time started to use Australian men as the real villain. I don't know what they did, yeah. Anyway, do you want more shark movies? No! God, no! Please, no! Do you want more good for her horror movies where a young woman overcomes the odds to take down a toxic asshole man? Yeah. Dangerous Animals stars Jai Courtney as a guy who takes people out onto the ocean where nobody can hear them scream and puts them in a cage and lowers them to the sharks. And that's the part they're actually paying him to do. So just imagine if he went, like, actually crazy. Well, he would just not put them in the cage and lower them to the shark. Yeah, it's pretty similar. Yes, he's the first person that ever stops putting people in cages after going crazy. Yeah. Anyway, there's this cool surfer dude who's come from America to find herself on the Australian waves, and she has no idea what she wants to do with her life except, quote, Point Break. Yeah. And her name is Zephyr. And she's got lone wolf issues, so she ducks out on Moses. Really. And then gets kidnapped by Tucker. That's a little better, I guess. And trapped on his boat at sea, where she witnesses him feeding a young woman to sharks in a kind of weird ritual involving ancient technology. VHS tapes. It's just VHS tapes. He films them getting eaten by the sharks, keeps a lock of their hair, then just watches it, gets off on it, does a little funny dance around his boat. That's this whole thing. This was a film I could not have been less interested or excited about, to the extent that I almost didn't even see it, because I think I was at the cinema already seeing, like, Ballerina, but I came out and I was like, it's an hour until the showing for this. I don't know if I could be bothered. The trailer did nothing for me. I very much had no expectations, very, very uninterested. And I came out of it going, oh shit, I can actually kind of recommend this. Jai Courtney is just great in this role. He really does his own thing with it. Doesn't try to completely reinvent the wheel or anything. He just has fun with playing the kind of role that you've seen vaguely before without ever seeing all these elements line up in this fashion. Hassie Harrison is also great as the lead. I had never seen her or heard of her at all before, but damn, she was really good. Of course, you have to deal with a little bit of the, oh, she's just this random surfer girl from America just backpacking randomly who happens to have all of the skills she needs to get out of this situation and is also a little bit psychotic in her own way. But you have to just accept that in this kind of film. I just don't know what exactly I went in expecting, and this is run-of-the-mill in some ways, but it's the ways in which it managed to surprise me, despite being an idea that feels generated from a bunch of different things you've seen elsewhere before. So, for being a film that is comprised of these kind of elements, actually managing to surprise me and shock me at several different turns. Not in huge ways. It's not a complete blowing away of the genre. It still fits in very much. It's not the best of these kind of good-for-her horror films you've seen. But man, considering that I feel like we're almost getting to the point where that's very specific subgenre is fatiguing a little bit, I feel like it's impressive that one of these managed to surprise me a little bit and just be surprisingly solid across the board. It doesn't blow you away in any individual element. It just does everything very well. There's this kind of, especially between the two leads, this kind of weird, like, twisted chemistry. You know, it's a very good sort of little versus thing they have going on there. And Moses ended up being much more of a character than I expected. I enjoyed that. And also, it's nitpicky, but God. Ooby Dooby was only covered by Creedence Clearwater. It was Roy Orbison's song. They spend a lot of time talking about it, and as a Creedence Clearwater song, it's kind of doesn't matter. Jai Courtney is just great. The writing is a little bit convoluted at times, but it's good for one of these films, and it doesn't need to completely turn over the genre to find new ground to step on, which surprised me in itself, and was welcome because it it's like when you see a superhero film do something a little bit different now. You're kind of like, oh, okay. No, you know what? Fair enough. This is what we want them to do. I'm here for it. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the fact that Zephyr, they managed to kind of write her out of a corner a little bit because she felt vaguely unlikable in the beginning. And by the end, by the third act, I was kind of cheering, yes, girl in the cinema. Not actually out loud, though. I'm giving further proof that the most dangerous animal in Australia is man. 3.5 stars. This wouldn't happen if Americans didn't keep going to Australia to like find themselves on the waves or whatever the fuck was happening here. Just saying, it's a good thing that occasionally we send a message in a film that it's dangerous for Americans to travel. Just stay in your hellish third world country box.